Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm about to show you how you can land your first client in 7 days, even if you have no experience. That's right, you can land your first client in 7 days, even if you have no experience. And I'm talking about SMMA/AI agency, so let's get into it. First of all, decide one channel for outreach and maximize the volume. That's the key. If you juggle between things, cold calling, paid ads, cold DMing, you should focus on one and scale it. You can also get clients by focusing on multiple, but it's best to focus on one thing and scale it. Be the best in that thing. Let's talk about client acquisition channels. As you know, cold calling, cold DMs, LinkedIn outreach, it works best as well because all the founders, everyone who owns business owners are all on LinkedIn. And email marketing also works. I've highlighted the top two ones because those are the best ones. If you want your first client in 7 days, choose one of them. It's impossible if you don't get a client in 7 days from these two channels. I can't guarantee about paid ads, but with SMS Blast, it's confirmed. There are more than 90% chances that you close your first client with SMS Blast. Also called SMS marketing. I've gone through it in my previous videos as well, but today I'll go through it again and give you a 7-day game plan, which will help you get your client. And also for paid ads, I'll give you a game plan. For paid ads, you need capital around $20 a day minimum to get the ads running and to get leads. Let's get into it. First, let's talk about paid ads. So paid ads, the best way to get clients for sure. If you're scaling your agency, if you're at 2K, 5K, 10K, you can scale your agency up to 100 or even $1 million with paid ads. Scaling is impossible with paid ads. You can scale to a certain level with cold outreach and stuff like that. But if you want to scale further, you need paid ads, and you can target your ideal customer profile, ICP, as mentioned. For example, you want to target contractors, you can target certain demographics. And thirdly, you can charge higher because the lead quality is higher, because you can add friction. Besides lead form, you can add a landing page to increase friction. So people who are highly interested, the qualified leads will fill out the form by taking some time, watch the VSL. If somebody after watching that video hops on a call, he is willing to invest. If you have the credibility, he will invest. So you can charge higher with paid ads. You can also charge higher with SMS Blast, but the thing is that in paid ads, you can pre-sell people. You can add friction, you get all the details, and you are not going to them. So they are coming to you. If you had a question in your lead form or your landing page, like how much revenue are you doing, and if he falls below your criteria, you can remove him. Don't do a meeting with him simply. So paid ads saves your time. You can target your ideal customer profile. You can charge higher, and the best way to get clients for sure. And you can test different offers at once. For example, you can do multiple campaigns, one with pay per performance, one pay per appointment, one for a paid in full, and one for something else. There are multiple things and you can test at once. You can have one campaign with multiple ads. You can have multiple campaigns with multiple ads. So that's the best part. But you need money for paid ads. But if you do it rightly, you can get a good ROI. For example, even if you get a 3 ROI, for example, you put in 1,000 and you get 3,000 back, that's not a bad ROI at all. And if you are at a higher level, for example, you're doing 100K and you put 20K into ads and you get back 60K, that's not bad. So even 3 ROI is good at certain levels. Even if you're starting out and you get one client, your cost per acquisition, not cost per lead, cost per acquisition, from getting the lead to nurturing it, doing the call and closing him, that would be your cost per acquisition. So even if you get a client for $100 to $200, you sell him $1,000 PIF, that's easily 2 to 4x ROI. Let me show you how you can do paid ads to land your first client in 7 days. So you need at least $20 a day. And the best part, you have AI. AI can help you make creatives, and the creative is the heart of your ad. If your creative is bad or it's salesy or it's not up to the mark, people will simply skip because they're already scrolling. If you're doing meta ads, which we are talking about meta ads, I'm not talking about Google ads. So people are scrolling. If your ad is salesy, it clearly shows that you're selling something, people will skip. If you have a bad creative, people will skip. But if you have a storytelling or you're talking to business owners directly and you're confident, you can stop the scroll. And AI hook videos can easily stop the scroll because you can add a contractor. For example, you have AI, you have Chat GPT. You can simply ask him, like, give me 10 prompts for AI hooks for my agency's ad creatives. AI will give you a lot of hooks. The prompts, you can easily get the videos made from Google's Veo 3 or Sora 2. It's 100% possible. And after the hook, you can add a body of you speaking to the camera, or you can simply carry on the AI video. It depends on you, but I recommend using an AI hook to grab the attention, and then you can speak directly to camera with your offer or something. Like, you can also take help from ChatGPT and scripts as well. I mean, the ads I do and everything I do, I take ChatGPT's help, even in my SMS blast. I mean, in every case, I always consult to ChatGPT with every problem. Even besides agency, I ask ChatGPT, what should I eat? I mean, that's funny, but I'm using ChatGPT a lot and it saves me a lot of time. You can have a landing page or an instant form. It depends on you. You can add the friction you want. For example, if you're using a landing page, there will be more friction because in instant form, people usually have their information automatically filled. There's an option if you want to fill automatically, and people click that and they simply submit the form if you don't have any of the questions. But you can add friction in instant form as well, but in landing page there is high friction because they leave the platform, they go to a website, and you can add a VSL, you can add questions. So it's up to you the friction you want to add, but in the beginning I recommend you to have less friction. But if you don't want tire kickers or time wasters, you can simply add friction and use a landing page, and it's recommended. I mentioned it on the top because landing page converts the best. I mean, you can get the most qualified leads through landing page. Besides instant forms also work, but the quality of lead drops in instant forms. But you can still get a lot of good clients from instant forms. I mean, very qualified leads. But as I told you, they both work, but you get more qualified leads in landing page. And in instant form, the cost is lower, but the quality is also lower a bit. And then you can make them book a call. I mean, that's the best you can do. You can ask them to take some time out of the day, and they can book a call whenever it suits them, and you can nurture them. I mean, you can always book yourself for 1 to 2 days ahead. I mean, if they watch you out on Monday, your calendar should be booked till Wednesday. So in 2 days, you can nurture them. You can send them emails. You can send them some VSL if they haven't watched on your landing page or you're using instant forms. You can nurture them, and you should nurture them before the call so they show up. I mean, if you nurture them, you will have a higher show up rate and a higher closure rate. And on the call, you can show them a pitch deck in which you have your offer, your testimonials, I mean, the guarantee for offering any, and the best part, you can close them. Before mentioning the pros and everything, let me tell you the biggest con. I also mentioned it before, but there's a lot of risk. You can even spend $1,000 and close no deal, book no meeting. That's possible. It happens. I mean, it usually does not happen, but it could happen if you're not experienced or you don't know how to run ads. You will simply burn a lot of money. So, but on the other hand, it has a lot of pros as well. But the con, it has higher risk than every other outreach or client acquisition method because money is involved in it. Once again, I'm telling you the pros. You can charge higher, qualified leads, easier to sell. These are all the pros, but the biggest con is higher risk. Now let's go to SMS Blast, the best cold outreach method for 2025, and it will be in 2026 as well. Let's talk about pros first. SMS Blast has less saturation than any other method. I mean, there are dozens of agency owners who still does not know about SMS Blast, but they're doing good. SMS Blast also has some saturation. I mean, you can get business owners saying, you take me off the list, or how did you get my number? The same objections you have on cold calls are sometimes on SMS as well, but there's less saturation. I mean, cold DMs, cold calls, they all work, but they are highly saturated. SMS Blast, in compared to them, is way less saturated. And the other pro is that you can do a high volume. High volume is possible because if you're using Go High Level, you can have 5 sub accounts and you can do 500 blasts on every. I mean, you can track the numbers you want, and you can do high volume. I mean, you can do it from 10 sub accounts per day. You can do it from 20 sub accounts per day if you have setters. I mean, it depends on you. So higher volume is possible with SMS Blast. It's also possible with paid ads if you increase the budget, but you can easily increase the volume without the cost going sky high. If you're talking about the third pro, they have a high opening rate. I mean, SMS has the highest opening rate. For example, a contractor, he's scrolling on Instagram on his phone, and he instantly gets a text message and it pops up on his phone. So there's a higher opening rate. I mean the highest opening rate in all the cold outreach. I mean, if you talk about cold DMs, the opening rate nowadays, I guess it's the least, because there are businesses commenting on posts like check your DMs or something like that, and business owners are aware that you're trying to sell them something. So cold DMs is very tough nowadays. It's difficult, but it's not impossible, as I told, but it's difficult. It's very difficult nowadays. And the next pro is that everything is automated in cold SMS. I mean, you don't have to type them manually. You just make a campaign in Koha level or in any other platform you want, and everything goes smoothly automatic. You don't have to do anything manually besides replying or calling the leads instantly. And let me clear one thing, SMS Blast is all about testing and finding the best script, executing the volume and consistency. If you're doing cold SMS 5 days a week, because I don't recommend doing it on the weekends, and contractors hate opening. I mean, besides contractor, every business owner hates business or business talk on weekends. Same goes for you if you're a business owner. So you always text them on weekdays, and if you're doing 5 days a week and it's 20 days a month, and in 20 days you can do a lot of volume, and that's impossible if you don't get a deal unless or until your offer or your outreach SMS sucks. So let's move on to the plan I made for SMS Blast if you want your first client in 7 days. The first step in SMS outreach is finding a winning script. You can use ChatGPT, and keep in mind, if you don't have a good script, no matter you send 1,000 DMs, 1,000 SMS per day or 5,000 SMS per day, but if your script sucks, nobody will reply you, and you'll fail. But you have to find a winning script. As I told you, you can use ChatGPT, you can use AI. So you have to find a winning script, and you can also take help from me. I mean, you can book your free agency audit call from the description. I will help you in the areas you need help. For example, SMS outreach, finding the script, or service delivery, or any other agency related thing. I will help you. You can book your free agency audit call from the description. Moving on, the next thing is push volume. If you're not pushing the volume, you won't get the results you want. And let me fix this. I previously chose 1,500 SMS per day, but I decided to do 1,000 because you can even get your first client with 100 SMS per day. Yeah, that's possible, but if everything is in place, you have the best script with the highest opening rate, you can even get your first client with doing 100 or 200 SMS per day for 5 days a week. So I am doing 1,000 SMS per day. I mean, you have to push volume. If you don't push volume, you will simply get demotivated. So if you do 1,000 SMS per day for 5 days a week, that's 5,000 SMS per day. I'm considering the least reply rate. So for example, 10% of 5,000 is 500 people replying to your message. And if out of those 500, only 5% people book the meeting. I mean, if you get 500 people answering your first SMS, which can be a bait and switch, which could be a direct offer, which could be anything. But if you're getting 500 people replying you with a straightforward offer, that's best, because if you have a straightforward offer, you get a very low opening and replying rate, but that's best because only the people who are willing to work with you reply you. But if you're having a bait and switch offer or any other offer, and 5% of 500 people book the meeting, that's 25 meetings. 25 meetings in a week. So that's an average 5 calls per day. And even if you take 2 to 3 calls per day, you will get better day by day in sales and talking to people, closing them. And if you have a 5% closing rate, I forgot to mention the show up rate. And for example, if out of 25, you have at least, 50% opening rate, even if we considered 5% out of 12 people, that's at least 1 to 2 deals. You can do the math mentally yourself. If you have 12 people hopping on a call with you in a week, you can at least close 2 from them. And if you have a paper results offer or something like that, which has a less risk or no risk, you can even close 12 out of them. That's possible, but that's the least case. But you can close 7 to 8 people or even 10 if you have a good offer with no risk involved. Because if you're starting out, I will recommend you doing a pay-per-results or pay-per-appointment. I mean, something which does not require money upfront, because businesses are comfortable paying you after they see some appointment or some results. So, but if you're an established agency, you have the testimonials, you have the social proof, you can go for a PIF as well. So this was a rough math, and I consider the least rate. If you're an agency owner and you're doing cold SMS, you know that this is the least one. Even I get a very high replying rate because I'm using certain types of SMS scripts and stuff like that. So it's 100% possible. You can get your first client in 7 days with SMS or paid ads. I told you both methods from which you can get clients, but with paid ads, there's a higher risk, but you can also charge higher at the other end. But they both work. That's what I would say. And which one should you choose? Well, choosing the method to get your first client in the next 7 days or after the New Year break. So you should consider your budget, you should consider your offer, and you should consider your experience. Because if you have $1,000 sitting around, you should go for paid ads. I mean, what I recommend you is learn paid ads from YouTube on how people are getting their SMMA or AI agency clients, and then spend your money on paid ads. But if you want to spend a small chunk out of the money you have saved up, for example, a $50 or $100, you should go for SMS, because it's way cheaper and the return is also higher over here. And your offer, as I told you, that if you have no credibility, you should go for a pay-per-result offer or pay-per-appointment. And if you have the credibility and the social proof, you can charge anyone a high ticket if you have the credibility. And third, your experience. If you don't have any experience but you have the money, don't go for paid ads, because you will simply burn the money. To get some experience, you can use cold call or cold SMS to get some meetings and talk to people to learn how these things work. And when you get a little bit experience, you can go for paid ads. But first, I recommend you, if you're starting out, you should go for SMS or cold outreach methods. And if you have any questions, you can DM me on Instagram. I'm always active, replying to all my DMs. You can also book your free agency or a call from the link in description. That's my calendar. You can book a one-on-one call with me. I will go over your agency. I will help you in the areas you're stuck or you need help for free. So you can book it from the description. And that was it for the video. I showed you how you can get your first client in 7 days with paid ads or SMS blast. If you want me to do this challenge live on my channel, just comment it below. I'll make a video for this challenge, because I know it's possible. And if you guys want me to do it, just comment it and I'll make it.